Are stick and poke tattoos permanent? This is a very common question that people ask, and I am here to talk about that with you. There's a bit of confusion around that. And the short answer is yes and no. So that being said, let's talk about it. Including stick and poke tattoos, they go 1/8 of an inch into the skin. So in that case, then yes, it'll be preserved because the upper layer of the skin will be removed because it's constantly renewing itself. The second layer of the skin will stay, and that's where the ink gets deposited. You will have a tattoo permanently. And when I say permanently, I mean nothing's permanent. And so this is another discussion that we could have, another conversation. Nothing is really fully permanent. We're passing through cosmic beings and everything's always transforming and changing. Stick and poke tattoos specifically, they, generally speaking, they are permanent. It depends on who does it. If you go and you scratch the skin and you stick and you poke and you go a little less than an inch or more superficial than 1/8 of an inch onto the skin, then of course that's gonna get rubbed off. The ink gets rubbed off more easily our hands, feet, sides, the size of your palms, size of your feet, elbows, knees, everywhere else it'll stick. Then in those areas it'll still stick. It just needs like more passes and making sure that you go to the correct depth. So if you get a stick and poke tattoo by a professional, it'll probably stick even in those places. It just may require more effort. And speaking of effort, here is a tattoo where I didn't put a whole lot of effort at all, but it was on myself and I was practicing some stuff. And I did this years ago. Some parts got lost because I didn't make it the right depth, and the other ones stayed because I made it 1/8 of an inch. I also used white ink for some parts, and as you can see, it did not stick. You don't see the white ink, and that was an experiment that I was working with white ink. If you want to see a video about white ink and me tattooing white ink, go ahead and set it in the comments for me. A lot of times people have this like idea, oh, what if I regret it? What if I regret getting a tattoo? It's all about the experience, and I can tell you now that if you're concerned about regrets, there are a few things that you can take care of in order for you to not feel that kind of regret. And one of them is how you receive your tattoo. The experience itself is really important, and sometimes more important than the thing that you are getting. If it's a positive experience, you probably are not going to regret it. I have some tattoos that I have had some regrets about, and I want to share with you. They're all permanent. They're going to be on my body forever until I die. So this is my first tattoo, and it's not like I regret it because I really I learned a lot when I did it. And this is my first tattoo that I did onto myself, and as you can see, blown out, and there's a bruise around it. Like, you can see that it's not great. It's not like I regret it because I learned so much. I'm so lucky that that's the main blowout that I've ever had in my life. That's awesome. There's another tattoo that I wasn't super excited about, which it's interesting, like for the image itself, my own mentor picked it for me. It was like my not graduation, but like my initiation into the tattoo art world, and I didn't have any machine tattoos, so my mentor gave me this tattoo, and I didn't really like it at first that much, because even though I do like the artistry and how it was done, it's not necessarily what I wanted on my body, but I accepted it because it was a gift from my mentor. And so the next day I'm like, oh, the imagery, I'm not sure. I think it's beautiful, but I don't know if it's for me. Anyways, and years have gone by since I got that tattoo, and I love it. Now I love it because it was the mark that set me into this path, and it was a blessing from my mentor. And because the experience was so positive, there's no regrets. I'm stoked about it. Stick and poke tattoos are
permanent as life itself. And by the way, if you love stick and poke tattoos and want to learn more, then feel free to take a look at the link below and join my community of stick and poke tattoo artists.